Today we're removing honey supers using a blower. Hello, I'm Griffiths, welcome to Winning Griffith. Here we talk everything beekeeping, farming, countryside living, and we do reviews as well. Now, I'm at my parents' house. I've just dropped the sheep off and I noticed yesterday when I came up here that these hives are about to tip over. The lean on these hives is huge. So that's roughly level. There's that much lean. And what's happened is the stand secured at that side and it's just sitting on the ground that side. But because the weight of the hives with the soft ground is sunk in that side and the whole thing's leaning over. So it's unbelievable really how these haven't tipped. So I didn't have clearer boards with me last night, so I would have put clearer boards in. So 2 jobs in 1 store now. We're going to take all the honey off this site. Balsam is giving. Bees are working it. But I put empty supers, fresh frames foundation on these hives a few weeks ago, and I doubtful. I've been checking some of the sites I've done that to, nothing's drawing it. So I think that was a waste of time for this year doing that exercise, but I've got those boxes for next year, so not a total waste of time. These stands are built a bit better, fence post, H-frame. These haven't leaned at all. That stand, believe it or not, was one of the first stands I had keeping bees. So maybe 3 years in, I built that stand to take more hives, 6x2s, and we're talking, what's that, 9, 10 years ago, 12 years keeping bees. That's how old that stand is, and that's starting to go there a bit now. And these ones I built this year. So this site is where it all began really. I kept bees down behind that shed. That's where my first apiary ever was, and we're up to over 200 hives now. But even though you can clearly tell it's not a big apiary, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hives. There is room for 8. Definitely the smallest apiary I've got, and I keep this basically just because this is where it all started, and it's quite nice still keeping bees here 12 years later, and what looks to be a decent crop of honey. So of these 7 hives, well, we work out the maths, but I'm hoping to get, I don't know, 180, 200 kilos of honey from this site today. All depends how full those top boxes are, or whether they're totally empty and they haven't drawn anything. So we'll see. But the purpose of this video is we're going to be taking the honey supers off using a smoker. Now this is a brand new smoker. It's an Ego electric one, 56 volt. Trigger on the bottom. And if you want a bit more power, you've got the turbo button on the top. Fair bit of power with that. So my petrol blower is getting repaired, and I didn't really like, to be honest, using a blower is my least favourite method of taking honey off. I prefer taking honey off with clearer boards. Click the link there to watch that video if you don't know what clearer boards is or how they work. I find that is by far the best. But sometimes, we've already seen in a previous video, taking honey off using a smoker, how you can do that. Click the link there to watch that video. But today we're doing it with the blower. It's the middle of the day, around about 2 o'clock. I don't want to put clearer boards here, come back again tomorrow. I moved the sheep down here. I've costed the diesel on that job coming down here, so 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll take all this honey off now. So what I will do, I'll use a smoker first, blow the bees off the top, take the boxes off, and then I'll blow the bees out of the boxes. So there's two ways of doing it. You can either blow the bees into the lid, which I find doesn't work very well, because you're just blowing the bees up. I think you damage them a bit more. So something like that, a lot of vegetation in front of the hives, you blow them towards that, and then they'll come back into the hive. That's how we're going to do it. But I'm still going to try and push most of the bees down with the smoker to reduce the carnage. But that's what we're doing today. Bit of an emergency job really, because if those two hives went over, there'd be a fair bit of honey there. And I have had one hive tip over this year already. It's been a brilliant year. All the stands are failing. So let's get into it. Just starting to draw this one. Oh, that's promising. So that box we're going to leave on, see if they can fill and draw the rest of it on the bottom. I mean, there's nothing there to extract really, even though there is a bit of honey there. Nothing worth taking. But this site did produce a fair bit of ivy honey last year. Matter of fact, I think all my ivy honey last year came from this site. So that box will stay on. We'll see what the rest of them are looking like. Full to the brim. Full to the brim. Alright, down to some decent height now where I can smoke the bees a bit. Woo! Decent crop here. No wonder that stand sunk. Wow, wow, wee wah. Four full boxes there. More than 10 kilos of honey there each. So we're probably looking average, conservative average on a super is, national super, 10 kilos of honey per box, but there can be 14 kilos in there. So there's a minimum of 40 kilos here and a maximum of about between 55 and 60 kgs. Now I would say this hive is up there, 55 to 60 kgs of honey off this one hive, which is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So we've got the bees there, really strong. We're going to put that super back on top. Bit stiff moving out the way. It's always worth doing that as much as you can, because you don't want to crush them. So we're going to turn this box up. And we're just going to blow that. I don't know how good you could see there, but basically not 100% empty, but pretty good. So I'm not going to film all this on every hive and make a ridiculously long video, but basically that's what I'm doing. Getting the boxes off, blowing the bees back into the hive, not doing any inspections, making everything safe, taking the honey crop off all the half empty or empty ones we're going to leave on, because we could still get a little bit extra, because I've got no Varroa treatments in yet. We're not going to do that till probably start of next month. And yeah, we'll pick this up, see what the final crop is. That's full, and I draw a line down there. So we leave that box on as well. Now that was heavy, full brood frame, full of honey. What a honey crop this year's given us, unbelievable. All going back into the box. See how their glands are open, telling everybody come back in this way. Look at the strength of some of these hives. I think these hives, give it a good 2 weeks worth of weather, or well in the next month, if we get good weather, these bees are still going to be performing. I mean, how many bees that are in the hive at this time of year? They haven't died out at all. What a year this year's turned out to be. Ooh. Going half sweat doing this job. There we have it. We've got 16 boxes in there. There's 6 left. I've come, the apiary's just up there. I've come down here, stop getting stung, and I gotta move these sheep back in here. So 16 boxes. 2 of those boxes are brood boxes, so you could pretty much say 18 boxes, minimum of 180 kilo. We're probably looking at way more than that, plus the 6 up there. Out of the 6 supers left behind, I anticipate 5 of them will be full, and that's roughly about 1/4 of a ton, so around about the 250 kgs mark for 7 hives. Wow, 1/4 of a ton of 7 hives. Amazing. Now, if you wanted to cheat a bit, you could average that off 6 hives, because one of them didn't do very well. It only filled a box and a half, so I've given the other hives the 2 supers off that. but still, in anybody's book, 7 hives, quarter of a ton of honey, that's pretty good. And considering the amount of bees I've got this year, things are going to be okay. There's plenty of honey this year, and that's just me. Everybody I talk to, they've had an amazing crop as well. So that's it for that video. Pulling supers with the blower. Again, not my favourite way, but because those hives are leaning so much, it had to be done. Had to get this off today, since I'm down here moving these louts at the same time. Well, that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And don't forget, if you like this video and you want to watch more of the same kind of content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I try my best to upload new videos every week. Thanks for watching.